Hi there. I'm a reporter with the Daily Caller News Foundation.
Goodbye. You're trespassing.
I'm sorry.
Trespassing. My kids are out here.
I understand. We mean no trouble. We're just curious who the occupants of the home are,
Don't
because
worry
there's
about who's occupants. That's none of your business.
well there are connections to New York Attorney General Letitia James.
That doesn't matter. You're trespassing.
Are you related to Letitia James?
Do you know her?
You're trespassing. Go in the house.
Do you know Letitia James? No? Okay.
You're trespassing.
No comment. Thank you, ma'am.
Don't come up to my house no more.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a good one.
It's gonna be problem.
Be well. Be well.
There's a car parked in the driveway.
Hello there, ma'am.
No comment, you're trespassing.
No comment?
Yeah, you're trespassing.
Okay, well, who lives here?
You're trespassing.
Who lives here, ma'am?
No comment.
No comment. Okay.
In today's video, indicted New York State Attorney General Letitia James was just caught housing her fugitive relative in her Virginia home for 5 years. For the woman who once said, "No one is too powerful, no one is above the law, there simply cannot be different rules for different people," it seems that only applies when it's not one of her own. And the only media outlet talking about this right now is Fox News. So here's Jesse Waters covering this breaking story about Letitia James. Take a listen.
If Democrats really want to look at lawfare, look no further than Big Tish. Tish is in some deep-ish. She's under indictment, charged with bank fraud tied to a house she bought in Virginia. She told the bank it was her primary residence, even though she lived in New York. Tish thinks this is her Trump comeback story, though. She's ready to fight.
I know what it feels like to be attacked for just doing your job. I will not bow. I will not break. I will not bend. I will not capitulate. I will not give in. I will not give up.
Please give up. Tish wants to ban lawfare only when she catches a charge. Too late. CNN says she deserves it.
But let's also not whitewash history here. Letitia James did essentially the same thing to Donald Trump. She ran for office explicitly targeting him. She fundraised on that. She brought a lawsuit that ultimately was gutted, not quite entirely dismissed, but mostly reversed by a liberal appeals court in New York State.
Even Michael Cohen says it's a slam dunk.
The documents will speak for themselves, and I'm certain that they have the documents that they need. I believe a first-year law student can actually take these cases to full trial and be successful.
This isn't lawfare. It's fair law. Prosecutors didn't Frankenstein a phony charge to take Tish down. They just followed the code on the books. Now the tables have turned, and it's a competition over who can be the left's biggest martyr. Tish can't blame anybody but herself. Her house is not in order, literally. According to the Times, the person living there is Nakia Thompson, Tish's grandniece, who told the grand jury in June that she'd been living there in the $235,000 three-bedroom property since 2020. The Daily Mail caught her walking out on camera. Primetime did some digging. Nakia's rap sheet is longer than a CVS receipt. It's so big it spans 2 states. First in North Carolina, according to the state's Department of Adult Correction, Nakia was a very bad girl. 2005, simple assault. 2006, assault against a government official. 2011, another assault against a government official, plus trespassing. Then Nakia got 60 days behind bars and was playing whack-a-mole with cops. But she didn't clean up. She transitioned. She's become an absconder. That means she fled the state to avoid arrest and moved to Virginia, where the Daily Mail caught her on the porch. Nakia even landed a gig working for her great auntie's 2018 campaign for AG. And according to her LinkedIn, her title was seasonal representative. Why would Tish hire someone who smacked a government official? Not once, but twice. Then Nakia got busted again. According to the Virginia court records, in 2019, she pled guilty to grand larceny. 3-year sentence, 2-year probation. Copped additional charges for possession of burglary tools. Another 9 traffic-related cases, including speeding, revoked license, safety belts. Oops. A year ago, she was charged with 4 traffic misdemeanors in a single day. That's efficient. Did Tish know her grandniece was a career criminal? She was obsessed with Big Bad Orange Man. Meanwhile, a wanted woman was hiding under her roof rent-free. Democrats say no one's above the law, but when it's their own, the law is optional. And in Tish's case, so is paying rent.
I want you to think about something. By definition, Letitia James is supposed to be the top law enforcement officer in the state of New York. But this proves something that conservatives knew from the very beginning. Letitia James' crusade against Trump was never about justice. It was about opportunity, motive, ego, and advancement. She used Trump's name to push her campaign. And then when she was elected New York's Attorney General, she used her power to try and take him down. Think about it. The entire time, she was attacking Trump publicly. She was also helping her grandniece avoid accountability for her own actions. And I think that says a lot about someone who built their image, their platform, their entire campaign around holding people accountable no matter who they are. But behind closed doors, she was doing the exact opposite, protecting her own while preaching integrity to everyone else. And that brings us to someone else who's been calling this out from the start. Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. He's not mincing words about what this really is. So here's Byron Donalds breaking down the situation and putting it in plain language.
I look forward to going into the office of Attorney General every day, suing him, defending your rights, and then going home.
Congressman Donalds, she said this is nothing to see here, it's just retribution, but that sounds like retribution.
100%. Her entire campaign for Attorney General of New York was to go after one man, and that one man was Donald Trump. She was letting real criminals go. She was letting them go scot-free in New York, but she ran just to go after President Trump, and it's wrong. It's a misuse of power, abuse of power. And now we find out that she was not on the up and up with her personal documents, and now she wants to feign outrage. Well, look, this is very simple. If you live in a glass house, don't throw stones. It's real simple. But unfortunately, Letitia James, she's indicted because it appears that, yes, she was defrauding mortgage companies to get a favorable down payment and a favorable interest rate, and she thought nobody was going to check.
Her vowing to go after Trump, it just wasn't a smart decision. It was a dumb move. Letitia James didn't need to build her whole campaign around taking down Donald Trump. Before that, she wasn't even on his radar. But like many liberals at that time, she bought into the idea that they were going to take him down. He was going to go to prison, or at the very least, he would not get a second term. That's why after she was reelected in 2022, she doubled down and filed a civil lawsuit against Trump after he was out of office. But here's where the hypocrisy comes in. While she was doing all of that, she apparently was harboring a family member who was fleeing North Carolina, and she knew it. So while she was preaching accountability in front of the cameras, she was protecting her own behind closed doors. But what are your thoughts about this? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate when you guys chime in. Don't forget, you enjoy any part of the content, smash the like button for more, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.